Eli.
I constantly like to fit. Blah, 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 blah.
At least your microphone's in focus.
Did you hit record? No. Are we good? We on?
Yeah.
That's what we had to wear.
That's what I have in my closet.
God.
It looked bad.
Just like I liked it more than the blues.
Everything screams bad 90s recruiting commercial with that uniform.
Oh,
That dude,
one of my favorites,
the
guy getting off the bus, he's like, I just got back and my family's proud. He's just walking a desolate road, getting let off from just joining the military. You don't remember that? It's an Army...
Old school commercial?
Yeah, Army of One or something like that.
God, what a great campaign slogan. The Army of One, where you immediately learn to have a battle buddy at all times and never do anything on your own because you're not an individual anymore. You're part of something bigger. The Army of One.
Yeah. Like, let's visualize it though. That commercial, you don't remember that? He gets off the bus, he's like, my family.
It's
and
in the
no
desert.
family picked him up though. He's just like walking.
Just like a real deployment.
Yeah.
Everybody's forgotten about you. You were gone for a year. They wrote letters the first 2 months, and then everybody moved on. But Richard,
God, that'd be a great tier list.
Where's the
Best
vodka? I
recruiting
just talked about a
commercials.
real memory.
Best recruiting commercials is a tier list.
Nico went over some really good Army commercials that like didn't hit any views, which is weird because they were super solid, and they came out around or just before the same time that Emma and her two moms did. Shout out to Emma and her two moms.
What is Emma and her two moms?
The recruiting commercials.
I don't watch TV, so like
No, it was an internet thing too.
Oh, okay.
I did a video on it, but I know you don't watch my shit.
no.
I don't watch yours either, so I guess we're even.
I watch your Instagram reels.
You're an all right guy. God, I can't hate you. I try to.
I like your reels.
You're like the friend that just keeps coming back.
I text you guys when I watch your stuff because I don't watch.
Eli doesn't watch anything. He's a
Well, I
piece of
know.
shit.
Well,
Yeah.
he also would fall into like some sort of weird like Asperger's coma where he'd be. Guys, I watched a video about pennies and now I know how to make meth. You're like, what did you?
How did you connect these dots?
Started off on YouTube and I'm in the dark web.
Eli, he's racially ambiguous and Baddie. That guy's fucking ridiculous and we don't know. Best not to ask yourself why. But my friend, you've arrived. Welcome to Unsubscribe.
Coming from a bunch of Army guys, like, you know how like the Army values are leadership, you know, the acronym is leadership, loyalty, duty, respect, self-assertion, honor, integrity, personal courage.
Okay, drill sergeant,
Yep.
chill.
So we would,
We'll be sorry.
my unit, we would always say, well, there's an extra value. It's called leaderships, and the S was spite. And if you can't do it for anything else, do it for spite. And let me tell you, spite got a lot of shit done. Spite got a lot of shit done.
I remember hearing that. Holy shit.
Leaderships.
Oh, I don't miss military out.
It was a CA and PSYOP campaign that we started in 2006, and it spread like wildfire because it just makes sense.
When did you start becoming a drill sergeant?
2012 was when I graduated drill sergeant school in October.
When I graduated high school.
I think I knew your mom.
I recruited you.
She was a fat.
I have two dads.
I ignored her. Do you really?
No.
Well, I bought it. That's not a negative or a bad thing. It just looks like you got two dads.
This is how we're starting this episode.
And he still don't know who his real daddy is.
Can we all please pick up a White Claw?
Hey-o.
You gotta crack it.
Do
I don't care
anyway.
if you
It's
drink
tradition. It's like the grog bowl. You know.
Oh.
Mine was retarded. There, I got it.
Yours was
Retarded.
fine.
Oh, tropical pomelo smash.
Yeah, they got a whole bunch of new
Little
flavors.
tail,
What
little
is this?
tangy, little citrus.
Just say, yeah, this isn't like the White Claw that I grew up on where it was like a whisper of
This ain't your
flavor.
daddy's White Claw, brother.
Yeah, this is your creepy
Okay, we're
phys ed
here.
teacher's White Claw.
Wait, sorry. Baddie, do the intro.
Continue, yeah.
How
Do your-
dare you?
Welcome to Unsubscribe. I'm Eli Double Tap. We are joined by Baddie Streams, Angry Cops, and Fat Electrician. Go f yourself, Baddie.
No,
That really
we
wasn't
can't
great.
buy an intro. We have an intro at home.
Bum, bum, ba, 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 ba.
Oh, the Marines.
Dude, my first tour, we used to do shit like that, make funny little videos where, or not even videos, just moments.
just blare
Well,
that
they were
sound.
like, hey guys, we showed up here at 6:30, but it turns out that they don't have the keys to open up the gate until 10 in the morning. And we would just go, like the five of us that were tight would just start screaming. to show how army it was.
Dude, the dumb shit you would have to. I'm sure you did a lot of just dumb shit in the military, like
my mom.
nasty girl.
I passed her up.
Okay.
She was thirsty.
Respect your father. Jesus Christ.
Both of them. Got 2 dads, but no balls, this guy.
No, as a military, I had the dumbest details. I've heard the other militaries are way worse. French 4 Legion has the dumbest details I've ever
Do they paint
heard.
rocks?
Hmm?
They do?
You painted rocks?
Oh, you never saw like
Oh,
painted
bro.
rocks in the army?
No, so
Walkways where they were like,
Oh, the white rocks?
yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
French 4.
I've never had to paint the rocks.
That's how
though.
racist the South is. They painted their rocks. We don't even want no colors. We want white rocks. At Fort Bragg, North Carolina, Fort Bliss, Mississippi, we go
For
here and white rocks.
Liberty, how dare you?
Did it change?
As of this year, right? Isn't it Liberty? Is
Yeah.
it becoming Liberty?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, if we can't remember our losses, right? How are we going to ever remember Vietnam or Korea?
I just
Right? Or Afghanistan?
white rocks only.
What's
style.
betting being changed to? Like freedom?
You're just pouring more alcohol.
it just sounds-
you're like, oh, this is this episode.
Like freedom and liberty, it just sounds like
This
it
is
just
this
sounds like
episode.
bad ideas from
What
generals.
is? I gotta see what I can't believe it.
It only
Fort Benning, I'm surprised about. Like, that's Benning, man.
I don't even know who like General or
For
Lieutenant
real,
Colonel
though,
Benning
like,
was.
I'm
Hey,
not-
you're a military nerd. You tell us about all the smart things about Benning and why it's called that
I
way.
don't know off the top of my head. He was like the most successful military
Useless.
tactician from the South. I
Oh, from the South?
Yeah,
well,
that's
everybody.
like why that's why they're doing all the rename is everything that's associated with the South.
Yeah.
And all that. So that's why they're renaming it. But like,
which I'm not mad at.
I'm not mad at either. My beef is
Yeah.
that they just like typed in Google top 10 most patriotic America words.
Freedom.
And that's
Eagle
all they're
Base
all they're
5.
naming shit now. Like the V-28. What are we gonna name it? The Valor. Like,
Wasn't Benning the terrible?
I
Like,
hate it.
fresh.
At least next time we leave
If
a bunch
anybody should
behind.
name a southern base in Georgia or Atlanta or in Georgia, it should be the guy that fucking burned it to the ground. What was the general's name that went down there in the South and burnt it? Started with like an S, didn't it?
Fort Moore is what Benning's being changed to. Moore after Hal Moore.
Oh, that's actually pretty
That's
cool.
a good one. That's a great one.
That's pretty cool.
I thought. I think it's just.
Who's the Civil War general that lit fire to like half the South as he like conquered it? He was like,
Yeah.
"Screw it, you guys want to secede?" And he lit fire to the South.
I didn't even
And the
know.
South hated him. Like he had like a hit list on his head even after the Civil War was done.
Dude,
Yeah.
I swear
There's a
Benning was
statue
one
in
of
front of
them.
the White House of the dude.
I
Oh,
have
he's on
no
a
idea.
horse. It's massive. Come on, I gotta Google this shit.
I know. Now
It's
I'm
important.
looking. I'm like, oh god, there.
Yeah. So Bragg
Civil-
is being changed to Liberty,
the-
and
the-
Benning's being changed to Moore.
The American scrimmage is not my forte as far as history goes.
Scrimmage.
I do.
Scrimmage.
the scrimmage where more people died than anyone.
I don't know.
However, I do recall that Stonewall Jackson was voted most likely to secede in his high school yearbook.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, the no laugh joke brought to you by the Fat Electrician.
I'm mad. I'm mauling.
Even a dad joke gets a chuckle from the guy that said it. Nothing from the order. Sherman was his name. General Sherman that burned down all of the South when he went through
Like
it.
that. Like the tank.
Yeah, so I think the Sherman tank was named after him.
Oh, he just fucked shit up on his way though. He was like,
You guys don't know this?
No.
So during this Civil War, obviously, once the North started winning in campaigns, he went down south and like set fire to like Savannah, Atlanta, and like there was like a swath that starts like how a hurricane begins. Starts off a little small, and then it went, and he everywhere he went, he just lit fire to the entire town. He's like, "This'll fucking teach you." So it'd be a hell of a nudge from a guy from New York to name a military post in the South after the guy that burned it the fuck down.
no shit.
That's Fort Sherman. Yes, it is. You fucking carpetbagger.
I want Fort Clay. That's what I want.
Clay.
Cassius Clay.
He didn't join.
Muhammad
Huh?
Ali.
I don't know. He didn't join.
The man that Cassius Clay was
Is named after.
Oh,
Mhm.
unknown. I don't even know that
I don't
history.
know this. Yeah.
The most gangster politician in American history, Cassius Marcellus Clay.
Is he the guy that fought a dude in the Senate and bashed a dude's head in with a cane?
Probably, but like he was born like on a plantation. His father was a slave owner in Kentucky. He went to college, decided that he didn't like it, came back, inherited his family's fortune, freed all of his slaves, gave his I think he kept the house, but freed all of his slaves, and then he ran for public office, started a newspaper, And then they did not like what he had for a message in the newspaper, so he turned it into a armory. Like he had metal on all the exterior walls because he was worried somebody was going to ambush, and he was going to John Wick the whole situation. Had the whole newspaper thing rigged to blow with an escape hatch in case he had to throw down.
Weren't there like mounted machine guns and shit for like interest? There was a lot when he did that. Like it was like
he had a cannon at the top of the stairs, like he was ready to throw.
Yeah, fuck around and find out. He was the fuck around and find out guy. It's a fucking crazy story.
That never happened.
That's almost a mission because you've got all that pressure inside of a building.
Ryan Reynolds mission.
The S word.
The S word.
Did I say it?
Self-deletion. Yeah.
Suicide Squad mission. It's a beautiful movie. It's a movie. It's a movie.
The AI doesn't differentiate.
The Forever Sleep.
Yeah, there we go.
So the newspaper never got attacked, but he did fight off like 3 assassination attempts. Somebody stabbed him, or no, somebody shot him at a bridge. He stabbed them with a Bowie knife, threw him off the bridge. Killed them.
Bless him.
He killed like 4 would-be assassins.
Hard to swim when you got a hole in your chest.
He actually
Gotta think this through.
asks the Yamato.
You're just sinking because your lungs don't inflate.
We almost lost a man.
Have impeccable balance.
But then, yeah, he actually ran against Abraham Lincoln, and he was the one that pressured Abraham Lincoln into the Emancipation Proclamation because Abe Lincoln wasn't about splitting America.
Yeah, he was
that
about keeping the union together.
He was the one that provided the social pressure on the other end.
Well, the war was
to make
already
him do it.
begun at that point, and he was like, "I might as well free the slaves because it's kind of a moot point."
Right.
Plus, at least it's a good psyop to the slaves down,
South to
the
rebel,
enslaved that were in the
anything like
South,
that.
because they're like, wait a second, that we just kibosh everything and kind of do our own little insurgency down here. We'll be free. Boom. Brilliant.
Cassius Clay. I forgot that dude was a fucking hard ass. Weird history.
Ended up dying of old age at 94. Fought
What? Yeah, in the 1800s. Yeah.
1800s. Fought off like 4 assassination attempts.
Dude, he's a hard ass.
That's when God's like, this one. I like this guy. We're gonna keep him around. And Satan's like, I'm gonna kill this son of a bitch. And he's like, no.
Fine, but when he's 94.
God, I now picture God like that.
Yeah. He's like, there's a guy coming up to him with a gun, Jesus. He's gonna stab him. But he's got a knife. Yeah,
You've activated my trap card.
Listen, man, if there's something you should know about the South, okay? You can have a gun, but you don't show up to a gunfight on a bridge
With a knife.
You show up with a knife on a bridge fight to a gun.
But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen from Angry Cops. Always bring a knife to a bridge fight with a gun.
It makes perfect sense. Even if I said it wrong,
It might
you guys
make
would've got
sense, but I'd prefer you made dollars.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Oh, God
I'm
damn.
turning your mic off. I'm unplugging.
What do you want from me?
something better.
Oh my God.
What? Oh, never mind.
On that note, I'm going
It's fine.
to exit this table and grab some vodka.
Breaking news! Manscaped now sells beard product! Woo! I had to get rid of my address.
Why did you just scream so?
They're once again revolutionizing men's grooming with brand new Beard Hedger Pro Kit.
I used your brush. I just realized this is your kit, not my kit. I used your brush, just so you know.
Thank you.
We'll trade brushes.
There's red pubes in there now. From the technology behind the Beard Hedge Pro Kit allows you to shape your signature beard look. Now you can finally use Manscaped products to make your drapes match your carpet. By going to manscaped.com and using code Unsub and saving 20% off and free shipping. Look at that. Eye contact the entire time. You're using my scissors now too? You're just using... Is that your kit now? Talking points!
It's my favorite part of the ad when Eli reads the talking points.
It all starts with the Beard Hedger. This thing is a juggernaut of fixing faces. Baddie, fix your face. First off, this cordless trimmer has a rotary wheel that gives you 20 positions of precision, all with one guard. So no more messy drawers full of extra add-ons. That's right. Face grooming doesn't need to be hard. Get 20 different links in just one guard. Actually, I really like... Can I see that shavy thing in the box?
Oh, that's actually dope. Watch.
Oh, and it moves it on its own. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Oh, I've always looked for this in a freaking trimmer because I always trim short. So this is actually really cool. It's one piece. It's cordless,
But
It's
you have
not
a
18 different clip-ons that change the length. It just it raises or lowers the guard. I'm gonna let you guys know. Yes, this is for beards. You can use it on your pubes too.
Dude.
Okay.
Manscaped. That's dope.
So get 20% off and free shipping. Use code Unsub at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at code Manscaped.
Code Manscaped? No, code Unsub at manscaped.com.
Oh,
right there.
thank God.
We got you. We got you.
Oh, it's already uncapped. Look at that.
Smells like grandma's kisses.
What the fuck?
Kisses. Okay. That took me a second to process what you
Gotta say
said.
grandma's titties, but she
grandma
wasn't a
sounds
wet
cool.
nurse for that long. Anybody know what a wet nurse is? Look it up.
We know.
Yep.
Do you?
I wish I didn't.
Now I'm gonna Google grandma wet nurse.
I'll take some vodka.
Don't do that.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. It's nice having you back around, Rich.
Dude,
Yes,
both
yes.
of you were just here.
We do have me here as well.
I just
Schwarzkopf.
wanted both of you together to watch the chaos
Oh
unfold.
God.
And our text group started hard. You calling him poor.
That's also true.
He can't even afford a K on his name.
And his phone is not an. You
We're
get that green
iPhone
text.
elitists
Yeah,
here.
green
We
text.
are.
When
We
you
are.
get that blue or that green text in the group chat, you're like,
I get irrationally angry.
TikTok can't track me because it's an iPhone.
I don't believe that.
That's not true.
that's a lie
Don't
for
roll for
200.
taking it. Like,
You honestly expect me to believe that Steve Jobs has your back from the grave? He's too dumb to not eat not fruit.
So you're saying that a ghost with superpowers can't save me?
That would be the most pretentious ghost of all time. Have
Well, yeah,
you
he'd
seen any
save you
footage
and,
of him ever?
You didn't think you should turn off your locations, huh? Yeah. I'd be like, yeah,
Oh,
but thank you
God.
for saving me, Steve Jobs.
Just a ghost
And he was
wearing a
Buddhist.
black turtleneck. Just the worst.
Just a floating
ghost.
turtleneck.
Yeah, just the guy in that little ghost trail. You know, it's like Catherine was just floating around judging you. Like, I hate
Simon
this dude.
Cowell? No, you idiot.
It's me,
Steve Jobs. Are you British too? I was in California. I thought I saw you in Dancing with the Stars. I was dead before then.
Oh no.
Treatable cancer.
Did he really have treatable cancer?
I mean, so here's the conspiracy theory with this. He was a fruitarian. He literally only ate fruit.
That's a thing. Did you just make that word?
fruitarian.
Yeah,
no, I
he's
swear to
being
God.
very
I'm
right.
dead
lie.
ass serious.
I'd eat you every day of the week, you delicious little fruit.
Ooh.
Hey.
Ooh. You ever had a hand
I'm
job?
right here.
A ham job?
Hand
Oh, no,
job.
I want a ham job. I want to put those two big pieces
I'll
of
give
meat
you a
together.
hand career.
I'm
You're going to be happy cops by the time I'm done with you.
gonna braise you with butter and barbecue sauce. That's what I'm gonna do.
Anyways,
Go subscribe to our Patreon.
anyways,
Call me
Anyways,
Hardee's because I'm about to put some southern meat between two fine pieces of bread.
Oh, I don't like
getting
this image at all.
Anyways, he's a fruitarian, and then he ended up dying of pancreatic cancer. Pancreas produces insulin for your body. They assume that that's why it was all messed up because he only ate fruit, which is basically just fibrous sugar and whatever. And then when Ashton Kutcher did the movie Jobs and he did the fruitarian diet, being a method actor, he got hospitalized with pancreatic problems.
Yeah, when I think of Ashton Kutcher, I think method actor.
I think Ashton Kutcher and
Did he use stoned the whole time for that 70s show?
which one?
That
Oh,
70s show.
he's actually stoned.
I did not enjoy that 70s show.
I didn't watch
If
much of
it's-
it.
I loved it.
If it's got canned laughter in it, I can't stand it.
Really?
I can't stand it.
You have to
90s show.
respect that that's one of the classics that like pioneered that.
Foreman. It is.
It's a classic for what?
Everyone.
everyone.
No.
That 70s show
Really?
is
I don't think it's a
universally
classic.
loved. Absolutely.
Yeah, I see all of its reruns on. Oh, I don't.
Friends. Friends
If
is
you were-
like universal.
Friends is true.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
with you 100%
But
on
it's
this
uni-
thing.
but
These
like,
guys
if you
are
like-
they're too old. They're
Universal friends.
Some comedian.
Okay, Ashton Kutcher, Daniel Day-Lewis. Same
Who
method
is Daniel
actors.
Day-Lewis?
There will be blood.
I was like, Baddie, so help me God. If you compare Ashton Kutcher's acting, you don't know Daniel Day-Lewis, motherfucker?
Who's Daniel Day-Lewis?
Fucking Abe Lincoln.
It's the nemesis of Daniel Knight-Lewis.
Listen here, kids. This is what happens when you go on internet all day. All right. You don't have a personality. All you know
What do you mean I have a personality?
All you know is video game, haiku, anime titties, and now you don't know anything about actual real people doing things and probably being real life assholes.
What is There Will Be Blood?
Actually, I haven't seen it, but it's based on the Rockefellers, or it's one of the oil tycoons. I know enough about what it was based on.
Yeah.
It's based on an oil tycoon, and
I
during the
watch
early
a
days.
lot of fucking movies.
It's
I don't know. I'm sorry.
classic movie.
What's the one with Leonardo DiCaprio? The Gangs in New York. He's the Hatter butcher guy with the glass eye.
Glass Eye. Yeah. Oh,
My
fuck.
God.
My
Who
God.
am I
that
thinking
intro.
of? Who's the guy in? Oh man.
Last of the Mohicans.
Yeah, I haven't even seen that one. I know all the clips about it, but I haven't seen it.
Daniel,
Two left feet. No, that's
He's
not.
just making.
No.
Are you
I
just saying
refuse.
real things?
Yeah, okay, Daniel Day-Lewis is a method actor to the degree of when he did Abe Lincoln or the other one
Oh,
where
he did Lincoln.
yeah, Lincoln.
That's the
he
most
couldn't.
recent one.
Who was he when he was wheelchair bound? I forget. He
Two left
would
feet.
not.
Wasn't it two left feet?
That was the
Yeah,
most recent.
he would not get out of his wheelchair.
Yeah, he made people carry him.
Yeah.
But that's shitty stuff. Like I saw a quote about method acting from another actor. It's like method acting is what you do to cover up that you're an asshole.
I've heard that too.
Because like everybody that does it is an asshole, and you become a burden on everyone. And you're like,
No, I have to live the life the person I'm portraying is.
like, or you could just act it.
Do you know what he did on Last of the Mohicans? He lived out in the area so didn't have to have the crew with him. He built his own fucking log cabin and lived off the land while they were filming Last of the Mohicans. So he understood he wouldn't bathe or anything. But they're like, yeah, Daniel, you do you, bro. Like, you're fucking gold. The man has every award from acting. He is one of the greatest actors ever.
Well, you know what?
And as we all know by the ratings, awards about acting really matter.
Yeah, it's not predetermined by the award ceremony. Never mind.
Christian Bale, then. You know him, Baddie. He's a method actor.
Christian Bale?
Oh, so help me God.
Batman. Yeah, Batman.
He's a method actor.
Yeah, he actually fought crime in Chicago in a black suit. That's how method acting he is. I'm surprised he fucking survived.
He had to hire a clown off Fiverr to kill his parents.
Yeah, his parents are dead. One of his friends that was a lawyer, he threw acid on half his face.
Holy
Where's everything? Where is it? Swear to me.
I don't wear hockey pants.
So you're saying if I lick this little red button, it's gonna set off an explosion?
You know the knockoff guy?
that's what I just said.
Yeah, it's fucking good.
Dr. Fishy. No. Your white bread, Superman.
Yeah, his name is like
suck.
Phil. He used to have a late night show. His name was Phil something.
Pete Holmes.
I don't know.
Pete Holmes?
Yeah.
Dude, Pete Holmes is one of the most
I
talented
know Pete
comedians, writers, late night show
Get him on
talk
the
hosts.
podcast. Get Pete Holmes on the podcast.
You absolutely should. You absolutely should. He's way out of our league. He's way out of our league. He's amazing. I don't know how he doesn't have a show. He's at Conan level.
Oh, yeah.
He's at Conan level. Conan is the only late night show guy that I liked. Stephen Colbert let me down when he stopped being a funny, sarcastic version of in the Colbert Report. Like when he was lampooning both sides. Now he's just a bleeding heart, like chode that isn't funny anymore, which crushes me because I loved him.
He drew a line.
And
in the
Jimmy
sand and you're
Fallon
like,
is
"Why?
Jimmy Fallon became white bread. It used to be fun and entertaining, and then they were just like, let's steal his
What are your
bits
thoughts on the Daily Show?
and make
Jon Stewart.
the new one.
No, Jon Stewart. No.
Well, Jon Stewart's great, but he's got a new show on Apple TV, and I don't know, maybe.
Oh, I didn't know he had a new show. I
Nobody,
Just,
yeah,
Yeah, he
he's not
lost
getting
that-
the views.
How-
Let me tell you a story, right? So you get Jon Stewart in the Daily Show for years, bringing young comedians on like
Yep.
Come on, did you
Colbert.
want this off your fucking chest for the...
He's getting everyone with the boop. The boop.
You're gonna
stab him.
You're gonna catch these. No, it's all right. It's a verbal boxing match, and I'm about to Tyson his retardedness.
What does
You're
that,
like
what
that
does that-
gang member
what does
that-
that make me? Buster Douglas?
No, you're like that gang member that wore chains and tried to fight Tyson because he thought it was hardcore, and then Tyson like knocked him out in like 30 seconds.
Are you
I
going
know
to
who
keep
you're talking
referring to
about.
other men, or are you just going to get to it?
No, I'm just going to look at your lined up beard like you're a Hispanic kid that's visiting the North for the first time and poke fun at your beard. That's what I'm going to do.
Let's keep
Why
going.
couldn't you just let the mustache go into the sides? You had to come down at a sharp angle,
I
just like your view count.
I just went to...
I'm coming in hot right now because you made a horrible joke.
You booed me and I'm fucking pissed.
You want to you want to boop the tiger? You get the horns. You boop with the tiger, you get the horns.
Hashtag Tiger Horns.
There's the new shirt.
Tiger Horns.
I want somebody to draw. All right, if you're listening, I need you to draw like crayons. I want a picture of a tiger with fucking horns.
I love tiger
I
horns.
need to see everyone's drawings of tiger horns. Send it in. Whatever one's the best, we'll make it a fucking shirt.
You
There it
get
is.
you boop the tiger.
I don't care what you say.
The horns.
The
Tiger horns.
the knife hand just got defeated by the scalpel finger. Nothing on it.
What's the
Precision.
I don't know.
That.
Touched my microphone.
Okay, sorry.
Touched my
Ooh. Ah.
Yeah, Jon Stewart. So he started off. Started a daily show, brought a whole bunch of people in. Amazing, great content, hungry dudes. They went on to create their own shows, and then he brought in Trevor Noah.
Then he was on Half Baked. Don't forget that part.
He was
Very
on Half
important.
Baked.
Holy shit, he was.
He was on Half
He
Baked,
was on Half Baked.
and he brought in Trevor Noah because he retired. You know.
Yeah.
And I knew it was going to happen. I'm like, dude, I know you want to spend time with your family. That's great. You should do that. And I saw Trevor Noah's comedy, and his stand-up comedy is hysterical. But him getting on and preaching to me every day while he grows his hair out during COVID to be like, see, I don't even have to go get a haircut, even though I'm super wealthy. And I'm going to stay in my room to like project so how great I am and better than you. He's such a chode. He's such an arrogant chode that it just ruined the Daily Show. And he's stepping down. Trevor Noah stepping down. He's dating my boo, Dua Lipa. I don't know how she got bamboozled by his craziness.
What if he's got a great dick?
Oh yeah, I mean it goes without saying, right?
But what his craziness might just be paychecks.
Well, yeah, but Jon Stewart wasn't worried about. I mean, he probably was worried about paychecks, but he would hit everybody, high and low.
He really would. Left and right did not matter.
Didn't matter. You were getting it.
He was established
getting
at
the
the
heat.
point. It's like South Park. They
No, he wasn't. He was throwing haymakers when he was a nobody and just started the show.
But it wasn't the
which isn't a
political
nobody
climate
show.
we are in now versus when Trevor took over.
Yeah, but if you're an OG with it, you like that's like.
Oh yeah, I
you're
agree
already-
completely.
you're
I
in
think he
familiar
should have
water.
done that. But if he's coming in and Homeboy's making X amount because they can pay him, that's just like South Park. Like South Park can charge whatever they want. And they're like, hey, here's your fucking dime. You do whatever you want. You make whatever joke you want.
Loved it.
You know,
Loved it when they drew Muhammad.
you know who refuses to sell out? Ricky Gervais.
I love him. Oh,
He
I love
still
him.
is brutal.
He got up because he hosted one of the it wasn't the Grammys, it was an acting one.
Grammys or
And
Oscars.
he got up there and he opened up the speech with like, none of you are entitled to lecture normal people about life.
Yep. Yeah.
Get up
shut
here,
the
take
fuck
your
up.
award, and shut the fuck up.
He's done like 2 or 3 times.
So it's the best interviews are because he's like, I just go super fucking hard, hoping they won't call me back. And then by year, he's done 4 or 5 now. And every year they're like, hey, you want to be back? He was like, I just made fun of Mel Gibson.
Gets the views.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
what the
that's-
hell's sugar tits? I'm like, bro, I've used sugar tits as like an insult. I don't know what it is. It just is.
Have you seen what he said about Mel Gibson when he's calling him out?
Yeah.
I like a drink, but not as much as this guy, Mel Gibson. This is after like his.
Oh, when he had his
Is this little voicemail?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mel Gibson's a weird cat. Like, how do you like? If Hollywood was like, oh, you said something anti-Semitic, you're done. And he was like, I'm gonna make Apocalypto with a whole bunch of no-name nobodies, and it's gonna crush. Oh, by the way, it's in like a dead language, and you're gonna have to read subtitles all the entire time.
Apocalyptica is such a great movie. There's like not even language in it.
They had to let him back. They were like, all right, you went against the Jews, but you won this time.
That dude told That dude told an entire story, and there's like 7 lines of dialogue the
He
entire
was just
time.
massacring people.
You know how good a movie has to be for me to be willing to fucking read? It's gonna be really good. It's fantastic.
You
It's probably
actually-
one of my favorite movies of all time.
You look a lot like that the fat chubby kid that was at the top of the pyramid that was like watching people get cut open. He's just like,
Yeah,
that reminds me
it's funny
of you.
because you look like a bitch with teeth.
Do all of your bitches in Iowa not have teeth?
Maybe Baddie, let's switch seats. It just does a commercial. It's a commercial break, and we're sitting in their seats. We have
bandages on our heads.
Yeah, we had to separate.
Hey, listen, I can't take anything you'd say seriously. It's not going to be an insult because you got like an Etch-a-Sketch light bright tattoo on both of your arms. So, you know, what am I going to do when a 5-year-old tries to color by number?
I'm right here.
Oh, no, yours looks like an acid trip, but that's okay. Ooh, a bad acid trip.
A poor acid trip is what I
Oh,
call
you
it.
put an arrow into your doodad, your fire symbol.
No, the arrow was there first.
Don't
you tried to cover it
forget
up.
the snake.
I didn't cover it up.
Oh, I would have.
I'm enjoying all of this. So
You know what's great is whenever I say a really good mean comment to him. Can I see your hands real quick? Whenever I see a really good mean comment, I actually see one of his tattoos go down. So I know it's funny. I know it's funny.
He was full at the start. Yeah. It started all red. Half another one goes down. It's like beep.
That's what I do.
You take a shot and it's like.
Hopefully you guys are doing push-ups tonight. We're all vets.
Oh, no, I'll do 21.
I get it.
Who's the?
You guys aren't going to
Oh,
have
you said you were going to
PTSD.
do it, so I would just do 21 because I wouldn't prevent your death. That was the joke. 22 push-ups to stop it, but I'd stop one short, so then you would fulfill it.
Jesus Christ.
Well, yeah, he'd see him. That's the point.
Math jokes.
I can't do that.
Rich is just. I love that you're just constantly. You're like, I got some.
The only reason you're not getting him is because you're building me up.
Literally.
You'll say something smart ass like you always do, and I'll come after you.
You look wonderful.
I can't wait
today.
for you to get Eli.
Literally just a toddler throwing haymakers after you got third graded. And now you're out of control.
I couldn't hear a word you said after that heavy breathing, asthma boy. Is that
Children, break it up.
We're this thumbnail's so easy. It's gonna be you with the black eye and you with the black eye. And then Andrew like,
can you put the sleep apnea machine on him so everybody knows why he's breathing so heavy?
he's looking like the bad guy of Road Fury.
Yeah.
Just the mask right here.
Give me the fuel. Walk away. Walk away.
I need
Everybody with him. Walk away.
That's a great movie, though.
That's a good movie.
It is really good.
The remake wasn't bad either.
I didn't mind. No, I
I liked
enjoyed
it.
the remake.
I liked it.
Tom Hardy, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
Tom Hardy stays as like the road warrior, but they bring Celine Dion or whatever her name is in, and Sharon Stone, and she does a great job as a one-armed bandit, you know, with that
I
weird
like
robot arm.
my favorite part is like, yeah, Tom Hardy crushed it. He didn't say a single line of dialogue, and then it's Celine Dion.
Yeah, get your head off the microphone. They're gonna hear your thought.
I feel like I'm at an auction with the auctioneer just going, oh,
Nobody's
what the
buying
fuck
you,
is
buddy.
happening?
Welcome to Rich.
Man.
This is the first time you guys have met, which is
Where's
so
the vodka?
God.
Get it over
This
here.
is the first time they've met, so it was like we're just gonna sit them together.
We're
and
testing.
walk.
This is what we call testing boundaries. This only happens off camera.
Yeah, and there's like usually a safe word, but they didn't start with one, so I can go wherever I want to go.
Oh no!
Typical.
You spilled. Oh,
Usually there's Coke on there, but all right.
Every mattress has a 20-year warranty. Some
stop it.
even has 25. And you can try it out for 101 night. If you don't like it, you can
How do
send
you
it
put
back.
up with him? Do you tune him out like your child?
One of my favorite parts about
This is
GhostBed
your fault.
is that mattress has cooling technology in it, so you don't get hot at night unless you're Baddie. You can tell he sweats. Do you sweat, Baddie? Does the cooling technology help that? Baddie, wrong camera. GhostBed also offers bundles. It's kind of like Santa.
Still going, Seth.
GhostBed.com is having a 30% off if you use code UNSUB right now, or to go to www.ghostbed.com/unsubscribe and get your 30% off on your new cooling, technologically advanced pillow, mattress, and bedding technology.
Bedding technology.
Also, I would just like to formally apologize about the Superman and the Witcher thing.
What is
We
this?
love you.
What is
We
this?
love
This
you.
episode- What is this?
We love you.
We're
But-
doing ad reads. Stop
I know.
it. It's not a podcast. This is an ad read.
Are you looking at me or Big Ed?
You! I'm looking at you!
Let me see.
Use code unsubscribe over at ghostbed.com, guys.
I don't even know where to start right now. Oh, I did want to talk about,
No.
because Last of Us. Has he been watching the show?
I haven't. I heard that the recent episode where they made I'm gonna get deep.
Oh, God.
So Velma sucked.
How many times have you not
Right.
said that before?
A lot. You. I'll be
I was
nice.
gonna make I was gonna make a joke. I was like, no, I'm gonna behave.
I'll be
No,
nice.
for
I'll be
Rich,
nice. I'll be
because people that watch the show.
Listen, it's not the ones that you expect that make you laugh. It's the ones that you don't expect that get you, right? So they ruined Velma, right? They ruined Scooby-Doo with Velma.
It was, I haven't seen it, but I heard it was
but
awful.
like everybody's got to be a different point of view and a different race and a blah 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 blah. You know, and they didn't make it interesting. Or
trash.
like, yeah, they just made trash.
Let's
right?
make it Scooby-Doo. Where's Scooby-Doo out? He's not in the show.
Yeah. They changed things up just to change things up and didn't add to the character, right? Which is fucking stupid. Yeah. But in The Last of Us, they did it perfectly, so I'm told.
Yep.
With
all the characters.
What's his name?
Joel?
No.
Ron Swanson.
Ron Swanson.
Bill and Frank.
Yeah, with Ron Swanson. Because I don't think he was gay in...
He was in the game.
He was in the game?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm mistaken.
Yeah.
Another video game faux pas by Angry Cops. Are we fucking surprised?
So he was in the game, if you remember, because you did play it. He was like, that was my partner. They cut him down. He was the only one that wore that. He still lived in that same little village. They were just lived separate.
Oh, he was the only one that wore that.
And then when they were driving away, Ellie brought out the gay porno mag that they found at his house.
In the show or
in the game and in the show?
They did both. Yeah.
So that's why she's like, whoa, it's like dudes or whatever the mag is.
Well, that's
and
what
she's
gay
like, what
is.
are they going to do with that? And he's like, don't look at that. It was that. From Bill's house.
But
So-
I'm told that like showing their relationship was like heartbreaking. Like they did a really good. I don't have HBO. I should buy it. I should just watch it for that. And also,
did you watch Chernobyl?
No.
Oh,
Okay.
I am so mad at that show.
okay. We'll get into that in a second.
Hold
Holy
on.
shit. Wait. Okay.
It
But
makes
go
people
on.
look bad. He's like, we just don't like the sun. That's why we look like this. We just don't tan well.
Great.
What?
God damn it, man.
So, okay. Last of Us. It was the third episode. I know a little bit of spoilery, whatever. The Bill and Frank story was wonderful. There were some tactical oddities, which we've covered.
Stupidity.
Yes, tactical stupidities. But it was FUDs being FUDs.
That's where he was a FUD. Everyone's like, well, he was hardcore prep. Yeah, he's a FUD.
He's a loot crate.
It happened in 2002.
A lunacrate?
He's a loot crate.
Kill him, you get all the loot.
Yeah.
He was a guy that collected a bunch of stuff but didn't have the skills to defend it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like you. You collect a bunch of knowledge, but you don't have the skills to defend it. Not a good one?
You're
All right,
reaching.
my bad. Yeah, I'm
You're
reaching.
reaching.
All right, you're right.
Rich is reaching.
He's just mad you booped.
He is. I see it.
He's never been
The
booped.
line has been crossed.
Yeah, that was the line. It was the
That
boop.
was his Pearl Harbor. America's going to war, baby.
He's already reported you on Instagram. Oh, he's trying to get you. He's getting you shadow banned now.
I've Twitter me too'd him already. Unwanted touching.
Bro, he's assault.
At that moment, I was a woman, and you assaulted my breast. And now I've transferred back to a man because only a man can properly defend himself.
First of all, I can still smell your mustache. And
That's a manly mustache. Because I kissed you on the lips while you were sleeping. That's
don't
why.
worry about that.
You ran out of chapstick, and I worry about you.
I hate that image of a
Vaseline
skin.
is for.
You lean in, you smell. It's like, oh, he's added chapstick.
He put it off.
Yeah, and then you're like,
That's a
and
great
then you
skit.
walk away. Oh yeah, that's a
That's
great
a skit. Yeah, we're gonna
We're
do
film
that. I'm comfortable enough to dub in somebody else's
My
face
lips
for that.
are real dry.
Hard cut to it's. I just like you going down like
You
that.
had a string of spit connect the top one to the bottom one. It was
wet.
I think you were actually a little aroused by that, which I can't blame you.
That skit is that though. You're like, and then when your lips are perched onto his eyes are like,
No,
it's that blink, and then you come up and you're like, you're good, buddy.
I already know a better ending. I just walk away. You're like, that's it. It's a snort and licks of lips.
Better yet, no, mix the two. He wakes up and he just stares as you go, you're good, buddy. You walk away, and then after he's like,
Gary? Bubblegum?
gotta mix the two.
No, it's got to be like you walk up with the 90-degree angle flashlight with the red lens cap and shine it directly in my face, and I don't wake up, and then you do it.
You've got Firewatch.
Yeah, that's what you whisper afterwards.
You got Firewatch.
Yeah, always kiss the homies goodnight. That's the end.
Yeah. And that's the
black screen, white.
the title card, but no sponsor.
Yeah.
It's not for the lip balm or anything. It's
Brought
like
to you by PTSD. Taste the burn pit.
Oh,
Good.
burn pits.
Good.
John Stewart bringing it back.
Yeah, so he does like really good fighting stuff for vets.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, his show is just, it got taken over by a guy who was a great stand-up comedian and then a horrible interviewer of people on the both sides.
That is my biggest takeaway from it. Trevor Noah? That was his
Trevor
name?
Noah.
Yeah.
Terrible
Wait.
interviewer.
If you get famous for one thing, you're just not automatically good at a bunch of other random shit.
I know, look at me. I'm a horrible cop.
That was a slow burn.
I mean, to be
I was waiting
fair,
for somebody to say it. I was like, oh, I'll hit that ball first.
I love you have so many viral videos as a cop.
That's my normal job.
that's a normal job, yeah.
I'm just dispensing, love and the law evenly across all communities. Because each viral video is a different person of color.
Cut to the intro of Special Victims Unit.
Then
cut to Rich just full mount, holding a guy down.
I got a white guy, a Hispanic guy, an African American. Like equal strokes for equal folks. Each viral video is a different person of ethnicity, to include whites.
That is diversity.
Right? If that's not diversity, I don't know what is.
The white one, you're like, okay, I'm good on this one though.
Oh, the white one, he got a tongue lashing. He got the whole man.
Oh, that was the judge. Are we going to talk about that?
He got the man.
That was the judge.
He got the full knife hand.
Yeah. Listen here, old man.
Man. Oh yeah, that was the.
That got intensity in 10 cities.
What was it? That was the judge, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
When you
A
walked
federal,
up.
state federal judge, state judge.
Here, I don't give a fuck if you wear pajamas to work. Like, I'm running the show here.
Nice robe, Billy Bitch Tits. Welcome to the law. I am the law. Judge Dredd. What do you plead? Guilty. And then say this is knife hand. Right.
I really enjoy college students that hate capitalism bitching about Batman. I do find it funny.
I don't get it.
They actually bitch and be like, Batman is the equivalent of if Elon Musk made a bat suit as a billionaire and ran around and beat up homeless people for misdemeanors. And I'm like, I mean, it's not wrong.
It fixed the homeless population in California. And he's already trying to do that. He's building a tunnel where he's going to bury them all. Or, I mean, that's not... I'm starting that.
He read the tactics from World War I, where the British tunneled underneath all the other trenches and blew them up.
Engineers, baby, lead the way. Heyo.
I love Batman just beating up homeless people for like, loitering in like little crimes.
No, in California, it'd be legitimate.
Batman just beating the shit out of these people.
You can't poop there.
Okay. Speaking of homeless.
Stop pooping there.
No. I got to talk
Put your needles away. Stop flashing your cock at children on the sidewalk. I don't wear hockey pants.
Except it'd be Elon Musk saying it. Do your voice.
I don't have Elon Musk.
No, do the autism voice.
Which one?
Do a autism voice for Elon, but like him being Batman and punching people.
Let me think how
So,
Ryan
like-
talks. Got it. Okay, and that was for trespassing. Thank you so much. And then Elon flies off like this with his belt, his bat. Right? He's like magic fingers as he flies off into the sunset.
He's stimming as he's going away.
He's super hard.
He rolls up in the Cybertruck.
So
Does he Naruto run? Does he Naruto run? And
No, he's too old for
No,
that.
if you watch Ride and Run, it definitely never does the not. He's
He's just always
His hands are everywhere.
it's like this.
controversial topic.
Go.
All right. So I watch videos on the internet sometimes, and sometimes they're on these channels that are like, I want somebody from the right and somebody from the left arguing against each other. I don't know if it's Vice, but it's things like this. And one of the videos was, can you spot the person who is gay? Right? Either, female, lesbian, or male gay, right? Whatever, both gay. And so this one girl goes, I've heard a stereotype that gay men can't throw, period, right? So they give a baseball to a dude who's there. It's like one person's gay and the other people are straight, and they're trying to figure out who's gay, right? And they win money if they do. And they give him a baseball, and this dude throws the baseball the gayest way I've ever seen. And I'm like, I've never heard that before. Like, gay men can't throw? I mean, it sounds like it could make sense because they're not really doing sports the most of the time. You're going for a stereotype, And I'm like, all right, well, whatever. And this dude goes, and like backhands the ball like a sassy magician trying to like show you, trying to like, is this your card? And I'm like, oh shit. And so, yeah, that was a weird thing that I learned. I wanted to share it with you. I don't know where it went, but I just wanted to share that.
I almost
and that is a story of how Don't Ask, Don't Tell got eliminated.
I could make you guys
That's
throw
why.
the grenade range. Dude, who was
Specialist Johnson, throw this grenade.
Oh, I forget his name. Who is the Delta guy from Black Hawk Down? social media. He is like the Viking
Tactical. Kyle Lamb.
Kyle Lamb. Do you guys know who we're talking about? So Kyle Lamb,
I know
he's
Sergeant
social
Major Lamb of the
media, blah, blah,
Rangers.
blah. He was one of the Delta guys that did the trigger. He's like, this is
The
my safety.
actual guy.
That
who
is
did
the
that,
actual
yeah.
guy.
It's Viking Tactical, right?
This is my trigger, not this is my trigger.
Yeah. So
or my safety. This is my safety.
that is one thing he makes people do. It's you're right-handed. It's making you guys throw something with the left hand and he films it.
Hysterical.
Dude, that's when you turn into it's like, because he makes all his like Delta boys do it. Like,
Yeah. That's fantastic.
he's like, oh, this is really, so it's exact same thing. Like, just gay guys. It's
I
right
feel
or
like
left.
in every tier of friendship or in like a school or a unit or a military branch, whatever, whenever you, like, anything, any sphere, there's always like a build you up, like, hey, you got here. Like you did this training, you fought really hard, you're at this level, but it's a level, right? There's levels after that.
Yeah, always.
And so whenever you get there and you're the new guy that reached that high level, there's the guys that have been there for a while that have to go, hey, listen, you think you're cool, right? But we've been doing this for a while, this level. You're not. You just think you are because you finished and you're up here now. So let me break you down real quick. Hazing. Some people call it hazing, but some people just like use it.
Hazing's the word.
Yeah, some
They
people.
give
Some
them,
people.
they do a thing to show you that no, you don't know shit yet, and you still need to get that experience, and that's great. That's a great way to be like, I'm Delta, I'm a SEAL, I'm fucking awesome. Throw this football with your left hand.
That happened to me when I was through mountain warfare
Your nickname
school,
is
man.
now Pizzazz. What do you mean? Well, because you went, and it looked like you just added some pizzazz to that uniform. Damn.
Oh my god.
This literally happened to me when I went through mountain warfare. I was the new infantry guy. Like I was crushing the school, and then I had a couple Ranger guys that were there. Like, you've been in the Army about a minute. Come here. I'm like, oh man, okay. You know, I'm like a fucking E2 fucking. I just got a patch. I was a fuzzy before. They're like, we're gonna teach you what qualifying means. I'm like,
Qualifying. Yeah.
qualifying.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
Qualifying.
upside down until I passed out and broke my nose. I swear, I just fucked my whole shit up.
I thought you couldn't pass
Your
out.
nose is broken?
Not anymore. This was.
It looks straight. It looks straight. Usually guys with jacked up noses look like this.
My nose has been fucked up a lot, like rugby and shit. But no,
I forgot you played rugby. That's right.
No, upside down on a tree for fucking, I don't know, like 5 or 6 minutes.
Isn't this great? Like, you guys are nerds. We're kind of normal. And yet we're all like in-shaped guys that have done hardcore stuff-ish, you know, in some aspects of it. But we can all come here and talk about, you know, the nerd stuff that you guys do that we don't because we're still more manly than you. And that's nice that we can all be friends even though we're different and you guys are lame.
Man.
I didn't even have to look at his elbow for that. You know why? Because I'm a man and I don't need cheat codes to high five.
Where's your Purple Heart at?
Oh, you don't need to leave me out here. You're making fun of both of us.
Don't. He's on your team and you're making fun of guy with lack of combat patch? Come on.
There's a couple out here.
Oh, I know. What the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Guard boys just sitting on the sidelines.
And that's your teammate.
You know how much money I wasted for the fucking Army?
The two of you are like radio, but at least radio played.
It's
You're
a
Cuba Gooding Jr., but the entire time they're like, no, buddy, just
Never mind.
just wait. Just wait it out.
it's a boring job playing defense for Uncle Sam, let me tell you.
Playing defense?
Yeah, you're not the sideline. You're just like, tug me in, coach. I'm fucking ready.
You're like,
put me in, man. I'm ready. He's like,
you're like Rudy, but nobody put their jerseys down. They were like, nah, we're just gonna, we'll see you out there, bud. Go Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
oh,
Bench one.
yeah, we're making fun of Eli, right? Is that right?
Oh, we were, but he brought up a good point. I'm the only one. I've been blown up. I got a TBI. I don't know. That's like a weird subject for me. Like honestly, like weird. I got blown up. I got a TBI.
I think
I was fucked up for a couple days. But the car in front of me, the gunner had shrapnel in his chest. He had a fucking real wound, right? Like they pulled out a piece of metal from his shoulder. Dude gets a Purple Heart, right? Deservedly so. Now I didn't because I was like, I don't have an actual like wound. My brain was I was fucked up for like 3 days. I was non-mission capable.
Sorry, mental wounds aren't real.
I know they're not. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying I feel like I don't deserve a Purple Heart at all.
I'm getting more out of I thought you were a pro.
Oh, no.
It led to a pro, and you're like, no. Those people with mental wounds, PTSD, TBIs, go yourself, no Purple Heart. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, he took a turn.
Like, oh, we all saw some shit, but like somebody got like hurt, you know, not like I got like knocked down on my ass and had a headache for like 3 days. But I was like,
your brain smacked the inside of
there
your
are
skull.
some people.
I feel like that's a pretty big deal.
yeah, well, you know, I can't do words so good, but you know, the VA says it's not real, but my mom says, well, nothing. I don't. Where was I?
You were about to talk about the Canadian VA.
They give you rope. Lots of rope.
No, they don't.
They do.
No, they do. Well, it's more of a recommendation.
Oh shit! I really forgot what I was talking about.
VA, Purple Heart.
TBI.
I think TBI should have a
Purple
Purple Heart.
Heart.
Me
Yeah,
personally, I do think
This
TBI
was
should.
a commercial.
You literally
I
are
really
the perfect
forgot.
example why you should have a Purple Heart, because you just ended your statement with, I don't know where this was going. I forgot what I'm
I
going to
do
say.
that a lot. I do that a lot. Like if it's not one-liners, I'm screwed. Like I try to put like thoughts together and I go, oh, this is a good idea to bring in. And as I'm out there reaching out, I sound like Joe Biden. I'm just like, you know the thing. And people go like, yeah, we want to be on your side because like, you know, everything you said, like you make us sad now. We respected you, but now you make us sad. But yeah, so TBI, I was like, I'm glad I didn't get a Purple Heart for that, but like I still have like an issue, obviously. And some people did after I got, you know, blown up, and like people were getting like, oh yeah, man, I fell over during a mortar attack and I got a Purple Heart. And I was like, how the f do you just be like 50 yards away from something that blew up and then you fell over and you cut your wrist while you were making a sandwich with a plastic knife and you're like, I got
Just
a
like
Purple
this.
Heart now. Yeah, like I was trying to, but now I got a Purple Heart. So I don't know. It's just one of those weird things.
Purple Hearts are weird. Watching how they were given away, or when we got back, because we talked.
I'm glad yours and
You got a
Grace's are the
Purple
same
Heart?
size.
Oh man, was it a head wound? Makes a lot of sense.
Dude, my buddy Kataoka, God rest his soul, he didn't get.
Wow, that just went a different direction.
Well,
Somebody feels bad about a Purple Heart joke. It's this guy. Wow.
the unit, like my battalion had like 42 or 48 Purple Hearts. We were in a very not fun area.
Where? Afghanistan or Iraq?
Iraq, Muqtadiya. It was during the surge. It was like, fucking hard shit.
Where were
Throw
you?
the bodies at it.
Muqtadiya, East Rashid, Baghdad, and then we went to the Diyala River province.
Okay, so you were Middle and East, in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Okay.
Middle East, the Middle East.
I know. I the second it came out of my mouth,
great
I was like,
album.
oh, this is you better try and save this.
But he
I knew
didn't
there
get
was
a
no
Purple
saving it.
Heart for getting. And now he made it through this. He got shot in the dome, but with the helmet on.
Yeah.
He rode the ridge around.
Mhm.
I've told this before. Boom, rode around. Boom. He got dropped. He's like,
Oh yeah, you'll get neck injuries from that.
yeah. And he sat up. He's like, what the? No Purple Heart. I was like, man, that probably is one of those times where you're like, that probably did some damage or rattling up in this general
Like, bro got
vicinity.
shot. Like
Yeah.
in all the other wars, that's a Purple Heart
Oh, and because
because they weren't wearing body armor.
At that point in time, though, like nobody. It blows me away how much they don't know about the human body. Like you put inventions in respect to one another. Like CPR is only like 27 years old.
Yep. And has a 10%
and like we
chance of
figured
working.
we figured out how to split an atom of uranium in half to like make massive explosions and or nuclear power. But we didn't figure out the like, hey, if you
Priorities.
push up and down on their chest, it makes their heart pump the blood.
Well, if they weren't so lazy and their heart would do some work, then maybe they wouldn't die. Pieces of shit,
Thank God.
right? Don't be so lazy. Do some push-ups yourself.
Yeah.
And then I'm over here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do some push-ups.
Yeah. He's talking about push-ups, right? Make your heart do push-ups.
Where's the drill sergeant hat? Where is it?
It's
Where's
upstairs.
the goddamn hat?
It's upstairs.
You brought it?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that
my
was one
God.
of my asks.
Oh yeah.
It's great.
a
We
flashback.
always build. We
Dude,
kill
it does
really
that.
good.
People look at you when you wear the hat, like even civilians. Like if I got to go like walk around, you know, and I'm in uniform, obviously wear the hat because I'm still a drill sergeant, and people will go like if they're not ready for it, they're like, "Oh, kids, we're coming out to Burger King." We're like, oh, wow, that's and they just stare at you like you're like a cancer patient. They like guys just go, oh, and you're like, okay, how you doing? You know, and they just.
I'd probably, if you walk down in the brown round right now, I'd probably call it ease. I'd be like, "Ease, why am I doing this? I've been out for so long."
And I would leave you alone because you show the proper customs and courtesies where I would f up these two. Right? Oh, I'm sorry.
you
Are
promise?
you me as an E3 where you sat at parade rest for an NCO? I used to do that. I used to do that. Did you used to do that? Oh, I used to do
never
that.
even thought. I was just making. I never even thought about that.
I was the king
You
of.
sat up there.
Yeah, intentionally. I would do that.
You're like, they start talking. You're like, you do the awkward look.
Yeah. I'd have E6s and E7s walk into the room, and we're all like E4s and below. I was like a PV3, PFC. And they'd like walk through the doors, and like in E6, like in your unit doesn't give a shit. Like he's just coming in to give a briefing about like, hey, this is what's going on. And I'd be sitting here like I am now. I'd be like, Eddie. And I just stare at him like that. And the first time I did it, I remember Staff Sergeant Trulin. He was going on a second tour. He was in the initial push for like 18 months in Iraq.
Yeah.
Like craziness went on with our unit the first tour. And then, here I am for the second tour, bright-eyed, private. That's as smart ass as I am just about now. And here comes Staff Sergeant Trulin walking in the doors to give us a briefing. And I go, Eddie. And he was a Marine beforehand. And he just goes, what? Are you sitting at ease for me? I'm trying to show you the proper respect, Staff Sergeant. And he was so caught off guard, and the room was just like, what the f just happened? That it was one of those moments where everything just slid. It was good. He was just like,
He's like,
all right, whatever. He just like carried on. And so that became like a thing that I used to like doing to catch like, yeah. It was great because like active duty component guys would we mix and mingle because I was reserves, and they'd come in. You'd be at E5 or Staff Sergeant, and I'd be like Eddie, and he'd be like, "What the? Oh, reserve? Oh, CA, whatever. Idiots, these idiots." Hey, and then he would go because he was a dumb infantryman. Would go and be like, "These morons sit at parade rest for us," while we're all laughing at him, being like, "Look, he's so upset,
so angry about it." You always forget how much because they never get with the higher enlisted, usually didn't get with by privates. When we had General Boozer, I've told that story where he got up. I was like, "Holy shit, you're old as f-. And he was like, "The private," and then he was just riding in the hell out, and we were just joking back and forth the entire time. Every time he would see me, like I remember walking across. He walked out. He just walked out. I was like, "Hey, sir, where the f***'s your headgear?" Because he didn't have headgear. He's like, "Roger." He's like ran inside. Like, so he's just like, "What the fuck is this guy?" Is just with
dude.
me.
You either got a good general that's like, you got me, or you got a dickhead general just like, "Do you know who I am?" Yeah. Which I had that one time.
Those are the worst.
I had a general, and it was in use of K-Poc, and he came up and he was like, "You guys are getting deployed," and during the second tour, I was in E5. Yeah, I was an NCO. And after every class, it irritated the shit out of me. After every class getting, in pre-mob, getting ready to deploy, people would say, "Are there any questions? You have any questions? You have any questions?" Like, we just did a range where we shot targets. Like, what do you mean, do we have any questions? So I was like, I'm tired of this. I'm going to start asking questions. So I started asking board questions. And for those of you that don't know what a board is, it's whenever you're about to be promoted to the next level, you would sit in front of your superiors, like high up.
What is the maximum effective range of an M4?
It's 500 meters.
It's like
for an area or a single man target.
Single man target.
Shit.
600. I think it's 6.
No, well, I know 700 is the group target.
Is that okay?
I think it's 550 is the single. Area target is 7. So I know things that I should know.
Dude, area target.
Area target. So I would ask questions like that, and stupid shit. How many posts or how many trucks are there in a military post? And that's what I asked him. I'm like, "Sir, how many trucks are there in a military post?"
After a briefing, I love.
Yeah, like he was
a briefing. It's like, "Any questions about this safety brief?"
How many trucks are there in a military post, General? I said that. I was like, how many posts? Like, it was the most arrogant shit. I was like, "Yes." And everybody was just like, "Oh, what?" Nobody knew that it was like, "Oh, no," yet. It was just like, "Huh? Well, wait, a question, what?" And I go, "How many trucks are there in a post, General?" And he just like, "General?" Because you're a general, you say general. Like, you could say sir, but it's also appropriate to call them general. Yeah. And he was a brigadier general, 1 star. I was like, "How many trucks are there in a military post, General?" And he was just like, the fuck? And I go, "There's only one, sir. We drive vehicles, and that's true." And the second first sergeant, like we had a first sergeant, but this guy was like the number 2 NCO. He's an E7. He looks over at me.
Sergeant.
He looks over at me like, what the fuck? And then looks at the general and goes, that's Sergeant High, sir. He's just a weird cat. Yeah, he's just a weird guy. It's a thing that he does. Yeah, let's get out of here. And every other like E6 and below looked at me and was like, you don't have the balls if you don't do what you've been doing this entire pre-mode and asking stupid bullshit board questions.
And you're like,
I was like, all right.
I just picture this. You look over and they're like looking at you and you're like,
I had a smirk. I was like, and there's one thing you learn in the Army: you don't half-ass it, right? There's no half-assing. You're either in or you're out. And I was in. I was like, how many trucks are there on a military post, General?
God damn.
hey, Baddie, guess who's been making knives since 1974?
Oh, is it Kershaw?
It is. Woo! Kershaw blades. These things are awesome. If you're wondering how sharp are these blades, look at this Santa hat.
All Kershaw knives are designed, tested, and manufactured in the USA, where they employ over 400 U.S. Citizens. This is great. Stop, Eli. No matter what your budget is, Kershaw is making knives for you, whether it's a $20 flip open or a $200 automatic. Do the thing. Do the automatic.
This thing like opens up with the force of 8 suns. It's like,
The force of 8. That's the only way to describe it. Also, if you manage to break one of these wonderful knives, they do offer free replacement parts. You just go to their website and fill out a parts request, whether it's springs or screws, whatever it may be. They will fix it for you.
that's what I love about Kershaw. Kershaw makes some good blades. You're looking for some good blades, as Baddie was saying, from
Really cheap, like just a regular carry around, keep it in your pocket, just a little folding whatever, to
a toss away
your
knife. So go to Kershaw.com, use code UNSUB to save 20%, and for every $100, you get free shipping. Boom! Code UNSUB, 20%, Kershaw.com. Be you. Be the best version of you.
What in the
Kershaw blades.
I'm Wolverine.
A lesson that we all can learn. If you're not doing anything that's really breaking the rules, can you really get in trouble?
Yes,
for it?
100%. You absolutely can.
So I'm very intrigued, given how popular you are on social media and the fact that you're still in the military. You were in the military while you do it.
Yeah.
How does your chain of command react to that? Because you are just like a grenade with the pin out, and they're holding the spoon 24/7.
That's a really good
And
analogy.
that's how they have to feel the whole time.
Yeah, it's
They're
very
like,
close.
I can't piss this guy off. I just gotta.
I have my old battalion commander. There were some issues, but my new battalion commander and sergeant major are absolutely outstanding. I won't say your names. You're genuinely good people, and they're taking care of me. They've only been in the unit for about a year. Well, in command for about a year and a half, and they're really doing a good job.
Basically,
taking care of me.
the positivity you do probably with.
No, nobody gives a shit about that. No,
Oh, no.
Oh, brother.
Never mind.
I wish. No. So, the old battalion commander, and I think one of the current staff officers told me a story, which I think perfectly is a very good analogy, similar to yours. And that was other commanders would come in and talk to my previous battalion commander and say, wow, you got, drill sergeant high, wow, that's freaking great. Like, that's awesome. What a motivator, like that he's in your unit and you get to see him. And there's all these things now that I am glad that he's your problem. Everyone's like, wow, he's awesome. Well, not he's awesome, but like some of the stuff that he does is great and really positive for the Army, especially the Guard. Yeah. But we are so glad we don't have to deal with the bullshit. I got one GOMAR, which is a general order memorandum of reprimand. When I say general, doesn't mean like an all-encompassing. I mean, a 2-star general gave me a smack on the dick, and then I had a second GOMAR that was ready, in the pipe. But then during the investigation of the GOMAR, they were like, "Okay, you kind of fucked up, but not enough for this." And that one was for I got in trouble, but I didn't get in trouble. Was for when I stood up for the 239, the field artillery, if I'm not mistaken. I forget, but it was the unit down in Fort Polk where a sergeant major told the entire battalion, if you get a cold weather injury, I'm going to negatively counsel you.
Oh, what the?
Yeah, right.
Jesus.
Yeah. So then,
Army.
So
Also, you're not allowed to wear your coats.
yeah,
That's exactly
Basically,
the type of
well,
army shit.
That is literally the
And
military.
long story short, like, so yeah, whatever. You know, you hear that all the time. You don't think anything's going to happen, but the sergeant major's like, yo, we're going to do it. And then they get really shitty weather. It's like pouring. It's in the middle. It was winter.
Yeah.
So they get a bunch of cold weather injuries. He's in the medical tent screaming at NCOs and soldiers and medical personnel saying, get them out of here. They're malingerers. You're going to get Article 15. I'm going to demote you, NCO. Oh, I had everybody message me once I put it out there. So what I got in trouble for was, as I said, the battalion commander's name. Not the sergeant major's name who made the threat, but the battalion commander who was in charge of his name. And so because I called out an officer by name, I got in trouble. Not the NCO, which is, I guess, kind of cool. I can call it NCOs now. But,
Really? Okay, so NCOs, it's like they don't give a shit. And they're like,
who gives a shit about NCOs? You've seen the officer corps nowadays.
Nobody.
Screw all the enlisted. So, yeah. So, yeah.
no shit.
My first Gomar that I got was for...
I love you have multiple.
Well, I mean, the only Gomar that I actually received, right? The only
That
Gomar
was
that I
an
received.
attempted goal.
Attempted Gomar.
Attempted.
Yeah, so that battalion commander and his wife like made a complaint. They were like, he's a real jerk. He called me out by name. And they were like, well, everything that he said was true. And the sergeant major of the army I actually talked to at the time, Sergeant Major Grinston, I was like, yeah, I've got a lot of information that you might want, and I'm going to do a story on this. And he's like, which was a weird conversation with the sergeant major of the army.
Dude, isn't it so weird having those talks? Now, I've been out, but Sergeant Major of the Army Troxel, like he was like, Eli, blah, blah, blah. And like having a one-on-one, he's like, oh man, love your, like, I'm like, dude, this is the weirdest goddamn conversation. Yeah, I was like, I said, hey, man, what's up? He's like, how's your wound doing? I was like, huh? What wound?
Yeah,
I was like, oh yeah, it's good, dog. Like, I was like, wow.
It's good, dog.
He's wounded. What's he going to say? Stand at parade and rest while you're bleeding? You look like Frankenstein, but you better, customs and courtesies, right, soldier? So I text Sergeant Major of the Army Grinston or DM him, and he responds. I'm like, hey, I'm Staff Sergeant, Drill Sergeant Richard High with this unit. I've seen this. I also run this social media channel, Angry Cops. I found this out. If you need any assistance from me, I have firsthand knowledge of these and firsthand accounts of what happened. And he goes, thank you very much, Sergeant High. I appreciate you coming to me, but we already have an open investigation on this. We're controlling it. And of course, I know who you are. And I said, that's ominous, Sergeant Major. He goes, not ominous, just the truth. But the first time I got a Gomar, the only time I got a Gomar, but not my only Gomar investigation, was New York Governor de Blasio during COVID made a statement that said the National Guard is not the Army or is not the military.
I remember this. Yeah. This
and
was
I got
a big deal.
And I got mad.
Yeah.
I got mad because as a reservist, as a full-time part-timer, that's all I've done is be a part-timer. Like, that really, really, really pissed me off, especially with a lot of the history that's in New York City, specifically, and the reserve and guard units that are there. And so I went off on him, and the unofficial can't confirm, but confirmed story is that video made it to Bill de Blasio, and he was upset, and he sent that to now disgraced Governor Cuomo, that piece of shit. Both of them. Wow, two pieces of shits floating in the same bowl. It's crazy, right? So he sent it over to him and said, hey, isn't this your kid? And he's like, well, I am the governor of New York, so yeah, I f***ing own his ass. And then created the Gomar, and the Gomar investigation went in. And the investigation was, and I have all the paperwork from it that I was given. And the investigation started with that video, but there was no fault found in the video at all. Because I checked, I'm like, you're a fucking mayor. You're not in my chain of command. Go f*** yourself. Right? You're not a state senator or whatever.
Yeah.
But because they couldn't find any dirt in that video, the investigation opened up to all my videos. And I made one inappropriate joke about a female airman. And that got me my Gomar. She was doing push-ups, and she did really bad push-ups. And so when she was...
That was what they got you on.
The drill sergeant
They got a drill sergeant on grilling somebody over push-ups.
Over bad push-ups. And I said, she was doing the head bob.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, those are bad push-ups. I go, but it looks like you're making Casper very happy. And so they said, that's a sharp violation. That's a sexual harassment,
Whatever
that
to
acronym
her
is.
face.
What? Yeah.
Don't f*** your buddy's acronym.
Yeah. So anyway, That's what they got me on.
What'd they hit you with? Art 15?
No, company level GOMAR. No, a GOMAR isn't itself a
separate.
It's its own thing.
So what's the punishment?
So you can have a company level GOMAR, and you can have a larger GOMAR, which stays with you for your entire career, like an Article 15, but it's bigger because it's a general investigation into you. Like I said, not all encompassing. A general officer is looking into you.
No shit. I've never heard of these. Sorry, this is the first time I've heard of GOMARs.
Yeah. So I have a company level GOMAR, which means that if I change my unit, then it's not an issue. It goes away like a company level
Article 15.
Article 15.
Yeah.
But if it went higher, it would be something that would follow me for my entire career, and that would be like a pockmark on your career.
No shit.
Yeah.
Military is so
It gets deeper. Like there's a lot of shit that I won't say on camera of how if it went a different way, there would have been a legal fight, and I was backed up by some very influential people that have a lot of money. So I'm glad that it didn't become a political stunt from the governor at the time, and that it stayed where it was.
Company level.
Yeah, because there was a lot of people that messaged me that found out about it, and they were like, if this goes anywhere other than what you're getting,
we got your back.
There's going to be some waves, and I felt really, that made me feel good.
But then this is the crazy thing. Military will throw you on. The military will throw you under the bus the fastest to prove a point. Unless they can't.
Unless they can't.
Then they're like,
but they still can.
I'm not gonna lie. That's the first time that I've actually talked about that. So hopefully, hopefully some old heads are like, oh shit, we dodged a bullet. Hopefully.
Well, it was like, what's his name? Eddie Seal.
Eddie Gallagher.
Gallagher, like the shit he went through. I remember reading that first report, and my buddy said like, "Oh, this piece of shit," or like they were like, "What do you think on this?" All these different things, and I just read over. I was like, "This doesn't make sense. He's gonna win this." And they're like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "It's saying he's a sniper in charge of all these people." It sounds like angry privates right now. I was like, angry privates are not liking their leadership, and they're like, "Why?" I was like, "This is a sniper that they were changing his optics without him knowing all the time." I was like, "No sniper. If I pick up my gun and every time I shoot it, it's not zeroed."
Red flag?
Red flag. I was like, so you're saying this is what they're going with? It's like, yeah, we used to change his zero just so we couldn't hurt people. And you're like,
So you made your battle buddy combat ineffective.
You literally are committing a crime, which is that's treason almost, right?
I don't know. Treason gets thrown around. That's not treason. You're just being a bad battle buddy.
Just being a piece of shit.
Been convicted of treason?
Recently?
Yeah, the trans.
Oh, there was somebody that just did.
The trans officer is a white guy with blonde hair. He was doing
he was selling secrets to
the Chinese. If I'm not
Oh
mistaken.
yeah, that just happened.
And he got charged with treason. Yeah,
I've not heard about that.
This was like last year.
I know
is a
what
poster child
I know what
for
I
treason.
wanted to ask you. Have you talked about the Air Force? Is it Air Force General, Navy's Admiral, right? Air Force.
Yeah, General.
Yeah. So the Air Force General sent out a mass email to all of his troops saying, "Be ready for World War III by 2025."
Yes.
Wait, what?
I have seen it.
Wait,
I read the memo.
Have you not seen this?
An Air Force General
Are we all
sent
super
out
excited about this?
sent out a mass email to everybody that was like, "Hey, get some life insurance and be ready for World War III by 2025."
I didn't say life insurance,
Well,
did he? All right, I want to hear
SLG.
I want to hear your guys.
SGL bill.
I want to hear your guys' take on it before I take over the microphone
take
for another
on
20 minutes.
what?
So his take, I read the memo. His memo was like, be prepared for war with China. You need to get your troops, airmen, ready to shoot, and you need to have them shooting targets, and you need to have them shooting for the head, aim for the head, headshots. That's what I want, literally. He's like, I want them shooting in the head, and prepare for war. It's coming soon.
I don't know.
And this is our enemy.
It's
the Chinese.
The average Air Force shot's kind of like.
My first deployment was with an Air Force cat who was a dumbass, and literally during a training event with the blank firing adapters where we're shooting with the Miles gear on, he fell over backwards and started holding his M16 up and just like firing like this, like he was on the east side of Chicago. And I was like, you are everything that I thought the Air Force was, and you will definitely stay on post the entire time. And he did. Trash. On his back, just like blindly firing on his back over the top of a mound with his M4 up like a fucking pistol.
I don't know. I'm really.
Trash.
I would like to sit down with
a 4-star Air Force general.
I would like to ask that general why he thinks that. Is what I want to know. I want to know what he knows.
That guy watches a lot of.
This was before the balloon, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah,
January 27th.
boom.
But it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
What social media does he watch?
None.
I think it makes perfect sense.
I don't.
So hold on. So this is the way that I read it. This is the way that I interpreted his letter. He's saying, I'm looking into the future. China is 100% going to be an issue. Russia is preoccupied. China has been a threat for a while. It's stealing all of our information. It's constantly spying on us. It is our closest thing to an enemy at the moment, especially with the amount of like stiff shit that they steal. I won't go into that, but he's saying it's currently the closest thing to our enemy at the moment. They have a lot of numbers. You need to make your troops combat effective because I see shenanigans happening soon. Yep. And I looked at that and everybody said, headshots, really, General? Blah, 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 blah. The dude is using words to try and motivate his troops to be, and leaders to make their troops combat effective. I saw, although worded in a weird way, like, you know, a total Pogue way of saying, you know, hey, we got headshots, right? We
gotta get them double kills, triple kills.
Make sure you no scope the bad guys, all right, guys.
We got a prestige this
one.
morning.
It seems like it's a boomer way of saying, you know, prepare the troops for war.
Oh, sorry, February 1st this came out. I have the actual memorandum up now.
There you go. But it's a very boomer way of saying, you know, ready the troops, you know, rattle the sabers. But
the next fight is what it was titled.
The next fight. Tell me he's wrong.
I picture this dude he was listening to Alex Jones. Now he got off Alex Jones' podcast. He's like,
well, you can say that.
He's just typing it out.
You can say that, but now we got an Asian spy balloon up in the air. We got Asian spy balloon, right? You're like, oh, aim for the head, huh? No, man. He's making us shoot at round things because he knew the balloon was coming. He's like, shoot the head because it's round like balloons. And then boom, what do you know? Asian balloon in the sky.
I mean, I will say the timing's kind of fucking weird.
Or dead on.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Depending on which side of the balloon you're on here, like the memorandum comes out and how we're all like, Montana's like, hey man, the fuck is that?
Which makes you wonder when they were told about the balloon, because you know it's Air Force that does that, like all that cybersecurity. We talked about
last time,
last night. So you know that they're aware of what's coming over. He's like, you know what? They don't think it's a threat. Get ready. Chinese balloon is a threat. And so he,
like it automatically anytime you're like the Chinese
balloon.
Super.
So he's like, oh, it's not a threat. It's not a threat. I see it coming. It's over the Aleutian Islands. We talked about them. The Aleutian Islands in Alaska. It's coming over the Aleutian Islands. It's coming into America. That's a threat. And then everybody goes, nah, it's not that big of a deal. He goes, that Baroon threat level midnight, Baroon memo out.
I mean, it's a crazy thing. He's like,
I just picture now. Imagine this: we rewind time, and then it's a Chinese private. Yeah, I almost said rewind time. And it's a Chinese private. It's just like, lost control. The wind took it very far. It just floated to America. He's like, oh no, this is going to be very bad for us.
I got all this technology.
And it's just a private that fucked up. Because 100% a possibility of what could happen. He's like, oh no, the upper command going to be very angry.
And the second that the Chinese government goes, oh no, we lost control of the balloon. It's just a river balloon. It's for the river. The second they were like, oh yeah, Chinese government, we so bad. It's a river balloon. I was like, the fuck it is. The second that they say what it is, it's the opposite. So then you're like, all right, Baroon is our enemy. And then, oh no, we lost power. Baroon gone. No. Second Baroon in Latin America.
True.
You're like, oh no, second Baroon loses power.
Nobody talks about that one.
Yeah, nobody talks about number 2 Baroon. Right?
And they had explosives. We found that out.
Yeah, in the Baroon.
Yeah.
Baroon had self-destruct Baroon. I don't know a lot of rubber Baroons that got self-destruct buttons, right? How many rubber Baroons you got self-destruct buttons?
Hey. What if I really quickly don't want to know the weather?
Yeah. Oh no, wrote bad news.
Groundhog's not happy.
Jesus.
The second balloon was the one that was going through Mexico or Latin America.
It was going pretty much straight for Panama,
which was the whole how to attack America.
Yeah, how to attack America. Move. The Japanese plan, Aleutian Island campaign.
Yeah.
They had 2 routes to attack America's mainland, and the balloons followed that exactly to a T.
Dude, that's the crazy part. And they were rigged to self-explode. You're like, okay, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking weird.
Which they didn't self-explode.
Wonder why that was.
Gee, I wonder.
Maybe they got American spy planes. Gemini signal.
I love you do Japanese accents for Chinese.
No, this is a Japanese.
But you
It's a
saying
deep, it's a good roll.
This is Chinese. Very sneaky
I am
Chinese.
so white. I can't.
the Chinese person.
Yeah.
Oh, welcome to the shitty one.
My family Filipino. Chinese never like the Philippines. They try to take over them. So I use this voice to stand up for my brothers in the Philippines.
Matt and Trey, when he's doing that, you've seen the clip. I'm sure all of you for South Park when he's going from Japanese to
Oh
Chinese.
my god.
I've seen that.
Hello, welcome. We are across the Pacific
You know,
Ocean.
Chinese and Japan are two different countries.
Yes.
He goes, and like it's old school South Park.
Yeah.
And
That's
he-
recent. That's
No,
recent.
that's
I
like
thought that was the old
2018.
thing. Really? I thought,
yeah.
I thought we were talking like
Yeah.
2010.
Before
No,
everybody
this
got
is a new one.
sensitive, fucking.
No, I sound like a boomer.
yeah, but they
Kinda.
would.
bit.
South Park still goes pretty fucking hard.
I love South Park. It should go hard. It should go horde. I love their transgender episode where it's Macho Man Randy Savage. Like, what was his name? He was like,
I am a lady, and I came here to be the strongest woman of them all. Oh, yeah.
I forgot about that episode.
yeah.
I transitioned several weeks ago, and I don't think that my physical composition should prevent me from competing with these women, because I'm the best woman ever. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was, and then they had the song "Best Woman Ever." Didn't he have a theme song for that?
Something. I know there's a.
Baddie is physically uncomfortable.
It's fine.
I love when Baddie's like, when I see his hands crossed like this, and he's just sitting there not speaking, he's just shaking his head.
Not only
I'm
do
like,
I
Baddie
have
is
not
like,
heard any of this. I haven't watched South Park in
It's a
3
great
years.
episode.
oh yeah, don't they box? They do like CrossFit, and then
It's
he
a
box-
CrossFit. I don't know if they might. I think they box in one of them, and he like beats
the
shit
shit
out of a woman.
She's like, she's all
This is the
fucking
white
beat.
the
She
white
was
guy
third
hand
place.
cross. Like right there. is
Yeah,
right
the
here.
white. Yeah,
We're both doing it. We're both there.
Uncomfortable
This is
white
I
person
drank all
cross.
the alcohol.
Oh, I'll get you
One of
more.
his hearts just went down.
Oh, not another one.
Where's your cup at?
God.
There you go.
Oh, don't. Oh, God.
Oh, as a drill sergeant, how do you feel about cell phones at basic?
Ooh,
Legitimate
I
question.
like that question.
So here's the deal. Everybody gets upset because the world is now seeing privates do stupid shit, right?
They've been doing
And
some shit forever.
forever. And you're like, oh, now they're recording it. Now they're showing it. So instead of it being within the unit and then taking control of it before it goes out and makes everybody look stupid, they're like, that was the old days, right? Now it goes out and makes everybody look stupid. But I look at it because I'm a glass half full kind of guy.
Yeah.
And it allows me, along with the world gets to play drill sergeant and shit on these stupid boots. Plus, now as a command, you get to see issues that you might have either glanced over or not taken seriously or never even had come up to your level because now it's on social media. Case in point. The first time I got in trouble for social media, time number one is I was in basic training and I made a video of me stabbing privates with a tent spike because they weren't close enough to a battle buddy.
Yeah.
So my battle buddy,
I remember.
yeah, my battle buddy,
You're dead.
yeah, my battle buddy,
Go lay
a column, and I'm like, if you want to record me stabbing privates, it'd be cool. You know, I'll just keep it for myself because I just want to show my friends and family at home
Yeah.
what I do as a drill sergeant because everybody hears stories, we don't get to see it. And that's like one of the few times here you get to see like behind the curtain. I think it was like the first time you got to see behind the curtain of basic training without like a news team there and everybody being like tight-assed and
Oh,
shit.
getting up and shit. Yeah.
So I'm there and I'm stabbing privates with a tent spike, stabbing their rucksacks, not them physically. And I'm like, lay down and die. Lay down and die. You don't have a battle buddy. Lay down. You know, and they're like, so I'm like, oh no. So they lay down and die, right? And that video it went, I don't want to say viral, but it did really well.
Yeah.
And the battalion commander and sergeant major start getting messages from like command, like command, like post sergeant major. You know, the 1-star general sergeant major is like, who the f is this? It's in Charlie Company, such and such unit. This is you, Sergeant Major. That Sergeant Major, you know, saw those shenanigans and then called my Sergeant Major and was like, I want his hat. Take his hat. My Sergeant Major looked at me and said, well, you really didn't do anything wrong. They've got a Facebook page and they show all their stuff, you know, and you did that too. So I'm going to negatively counsel you. And then I'm going to tell him that you're not going to go back to that basic training line anymore. And I'm not going to take your hat away high. And that'll make him happy. And I was like, it's bullshit. You can't tell me that I didn't do anything wrong and then give me a counseling statement. Tell that sergeant major who doesn't mean dick to us to f off. You're a sergeant major. He's a sergeant major. Tell him to go f himself politely. And he was like, no. No.
Okay, well, calm down.
I was like, all right.
E6 over here.
Oh no, my first sergeant was on my side too. My first sergeant was furious. He was like, he didn't do anything wrong, so do this. It's bullshit. Oh, he was hot. Oh, my first sergeant was hot. I love him. I still love him. First sergeant Tony Kuhn. You're the shit. Sergeant major now. He stuck up for me.
Yeah.
And so
Tony Kuhn.
Tony Kuhn.
I was about to do an Asian accent for that.
Exactly. So that happens, and the end of the story is I went right back to that battalion the next year instead of not going to that post. Like I was kicked off the post by my sergeant major in words, but I went right back because we thought he'd be gone. And that battalion commander and sergeant major came up to meet all the drill sergeants that were coming in to assist, their battalion, and they shake their hands. Oh, sergeant,
did you have to like
And so I was there, and I was like, all right, here they are. They want to meet us. Oh shit! I hope he doesn't remember me. Yeah, High. That's a hard name to forget.
Dick High.
Yeah. Drill Sergeant High. There's a lot of those.
Yeah, Dick High over here.
He comes over. He shakes everybody's hands. And he gets to me. He's like, Drill Sergeant High. Were you here last year? Yes, I was, Sergeant Major.
I was by back then.
Okay. And then I'm like, oh shit. He fucking recognized me. I'm not stupid. So we leave the building, and
you get your car and you drive home immediately.
Oh no, we didn't get like 100 meters out of the building. We were still in the parking lot, and the LNO, the liaison NCO, comes up and he's like, "Oh, Drill Sergeant High, Drill Sergeant High." I was like, I think I know what's going on here. And he goes up, he's like, "Oh, you can't go with this battalion." I was like, "What?"
Oh, it's just straight right then. Like,
oh, right then. He's like, "You can't go support this battalion. You've got to go across the driveway to the other battalion." And I was like, "Oh," and one of my senior NCOs was there, and Drill Sergeant Solinger, and he goes, "Excuse me, why does Sergeant
your hand motions, guys? If you cannot see his hand motions right now, they are so sharp and poignant.
Yeah,
like it is very. You can hear the slapping of the table, but there's
active privates right now watching this going.
You better be sitting in parade rest, private. So he's like, why? He's like, why is Drill Sergeant High going across the street to the other battalion? And the liaison NCO was like, "Oh, the battalion sergeant major says that he doesn't want Drill Sergeant High in this battalion." And Drill Sergeant Zollinger, an E7, and he's like, "Okay, he doesn't want him here, but what did he say that would lead you to believe that he doesn't want Drill Sergeant High here?" And the LNO goes, "Well, he said I do not want Drill Sergeant High in my battalion."
He's very specific on these words.
Yeah. And as a baller move, and this is why I love the Guard and the reserves, is we can do this, and Sergeant First Class Drill Sergeant Solinger did it. And he goes, "Cool. Well, you can tell Sergeant Major Boozer that if he doesn't want Drill Sergeant High, he doesn't want any of us. We're going to across the street." And the LNO was like, "Oh." Because now he's gonna we went across the street, and the battalion sergeant major was like, "What are you guys doing here? We didn't expect any reserve drill sergeants." We're like, "Yep, we're here to help." He's like, "Oh, yeah, I could use you." We're like, "Where do you want to go? You want red face, white face, blue face? Engineer school is going on still?" Because we did engineer OSIT, and like one lazy guy was like, "Oh yeah, I'll do OSIT," and me and the guys were like, "We're red face, day one, let's go." That's it. I'm a red phase, white phase drill sergeant. I've only done red phase and white phase in the thing. But that whole story is to say, you can show commands that there's an issue. Even if it is a really super cool young drill sergeant that's trying to do the right thing.
What do you do if a recruit recognizes you and has the balls to bring it up?
That's happened a couple of times. The first time it happened, it was mail call, and I was throwing out their letters. I don't hand it to them because that's stupid.
You throw it at them.
Correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm
it's
good. I'm
cordial.
like a
You don't
ninja
want
star.
that.
I'm like, what do you like? Mail call is low key, right? Because they're picking up mail, and I'm trying not to be a dick How can you be a dick when you're giving out mail?
You did not mean my
Right.
drill sergeants.
Well, I mean, yeah. You can be. I like to teach, but I'm also a bastard. Like I'm both. Yeah. Like I love teaching them and like seeing their eyes glitter, and I'm like, oh, I'm fucking we're doing it. I'm making you smart. And then at the same time, I see the dumb in their eyes, and I go, I'm gonna kill you.
Mentally, you will grow. Emotionally, you will be hurt.
Oh yeah, I broke it. I made a statement one time. I was like, I'm not gonna stop smoking the shit out of you for the next 10 days until 5 of you quit, and I got my 5 because I was like, because they pissed me off.
Well, that's what it's like. Our drill sergeants. I look back. I look back at my class, Charlie 219, and how lucky the drill sergeants. Yeah, the drill sergeants were at that point. Imagine this: you go into basic as your class, and your class has, out of the 42, how many do you usually get in a cycle? Like 42?
So a company is around 170 to 210 people,
and then
company, and then you have usually 3, sometimes 4 platoons.
Yeah, platoons.
And if it's 3, normally it's 3. You'll have like 70 cats in each at the most, maybe 80 if it's a really heavy cycle.
So we had 4 platoons.
It's like your period. Sometimes you get a heavy cycle.
Makes sense.
There's a lot of blood.
But we had 4 platoons, and we had 18 specialists. We had 18 college eds.
Yeah, the college.
And my drill sergeants were like, we ended our entire whatever it was, 14 months, 16 months. They were in like, hey, you guys are pretty fucking squared away. Like, we had the most chill. I didn't understand what the kill zone was. I didn't know what a kill zone was.
Did you go through in the winter?
I was just
January 5th to
I was December 27th or 29th. Yeah.
So
Jan 5th too.
Basic training in, I'll finish. I'll tell your story and then I'll finish the one I got recognized. So basic training is different in the spring and summer compared to late autumn, winter, because during the early spring and summer, we call it the push. It's the annual push, summer push, whatever you want to call it, push. All the kids graduate high school, right? And it's also the break in between semesters for like summer semesters, right? So you get a shit ton of people that are inexperienced, have no life skills. They're young. They haven't been on their own. Some of them don't know how to fucking shower.
Do laundry.
Anything, right?
Like
any hygiene.
Be amazed how many people don't know how to work a laundry machine. You go to basic training and they're like, my mom always did it. I don't.
So on the flip side, you get into the winter months and you get all these cats that are usually older. They're usually a lot older.
40-year-old guy,
40-year-old,
or sorry,
35.
Yeah,
30 or 35.
I'm putting through a specialist right now in the unit, the recruiting unit that I work with. And he's like 35, 37. He's a teacher. And he's like, I want to join the guard and just do something else. I'm like, fuck yeah. And I call him old man. I'm like, come here, old man.
Yeah.
But I'm nice to him.
We had one of those. We called him Gray Bush the Wise.
Yes.
So they're less Private Gray Bush the Wise. It's gained almost like walking in with a fucking mosquito wings. I trust him. Yeah, I trust him.
They smoked the shit out of him one day, and he comes back, and he's Whitebeard. He dies.
Yeah, he floats in.
specialist.
I thought
Graybeard the Wise. I remember that name.
I thought you were on profile. I thought you were on a dead man's profile.
I thought you were on profile. I remember that name. He has a Skechers.
So in the winter months, you get guys with life experience that have college degrees, you know, that are like, hey, it's not a space in between semesters. It's a life choice. I'm making a decision to move on and do this thing in addition to or to start my new life. And so that's what you get. Now to go back to the story where I was recognized at mail call was the first time. Is I'm handing out mail, I'm throwing it at them, to them. I'm shit. I don't want to get in trouble. The Army will still get you. So I'm giving them their mail appropriately as is defined by the Army statutes.
Thank you, Army.
You're welcome. 670-1. And
Big Sarge over here. Yeah, Big Sarge
That's
over
everything.
here.
Just say that for everything.
Yeah, AR 670-1. Per AR 670-1, I was handing out mail. And I'm giving out mail, and so at the end of the day after mail, it's question time. Like, do you have questions about basic training? Because the second they'd be like, Drill Sergeant, what's what's combat like? I'd be like, you haven't fucking gotten through week 3 yet. Do push-ups. Shut up. That's a stupid question. You're full of stupid, and you need to get the rest of the stupid out for the day. So do some fucking push-ups. Yeah, he didn't use his
purpose.
His stupid allowance was like way high. He got way more stupid than he should have.
Up, down, back,
From back goes. Yeah.
Oh God, I hate those.
Mine were. My favorite is the squat bender by the numbers, and then I do it with them because my legs are like tree trunks. Not tree trunks, but they're sturdy.
You got some solid,
I'm a sturdy
thick
gal.
ass fucking
I'm a
legs.
sturdy gal. So I would do, by the numbers, squat benders. So it's 1, and you just sit in a squat position, and I would talk to them about how bad they did, and they'd be like, and I'm like, why are you so upset? Straighten out your legs. I'm doing it, So
you're that asshole drill sergeant that can do it, and you're like, I'm here all day, pussies.
One of my drill sergeants did that. He could do flutter kicks till the end of time.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I told the drill sergeant that's my thing. He was like, flutter kicks, Cuevas. And I was like, you can't smoke a rock, drill sergeant.
He's like, you haven't heard of crack.
And then I was doing them, and he was like, oh man, this dude's really good.
So we find out what you're bad at.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he just kept doing flutter kicks. But I was the one that shot expert and everything. So he gave me a like, Cuevas, you're pretty squared away. I remember the first time he fucked with me because it was like, you shot 4 at qual. And I was like, 4? I was like, are you, was it lane? It was lane 1, lane 2, and lane 3. I was lane 4, and he was like, lane 2. And they were like, he was like, lane 2, Roger drill sergeant. He's like, 32. Lane 3, 28. And then he's like, lane 4. I was like, that's me. I was like, 6. Drill sergeant. He's like, 4. And I was like, what drill sergeant? I said, what drill sergeant? And he's like, can you not hear me, you deaf? I was like, 4? No? Like, for real 4? And he's like, 4! I was like, what? Fuck. I swore I knocked those down. I suck. And then he's like,
prone at parade rest.
Yeah, I was like, fuck. He's like, 39. I was like, ooh, drill sergeant. And then the other drill sergeant was like, hey, you can fucking shoot. Go get cake today. I was like, and that is, guys, if you don't know that, when you get extra food. Oh, bro.
I got Burger King as I shot expert for my platoon drill sergeant. My platoon drill sergeant was our senior drill sergeant. And he was like, if you make my platoon look good and you shoot expert, I'll get you Burger King. And I was the only one who shot expert besides like 2 or 3 other people.
I barely qualled in basic.
Crushed it.
Just ruined CCO.
That's a fucking story in itself. I had a fucking fever. I threw up and I almost got smoked because I threw up outside of formation. Yeah.
You were just the worst day of your life, and you still fucking covered down. You're like,
at the end of the day, they're like, all right, you were sick earlier. You got to come back and see us at the end of the day when we're all done shooting. I was like, okay, drill sergeant. And then I came back, and then they were like, all right, let's get your temperature. 103. Oh, shit. And then and
you're eating that burger like, it's so good. You're scooping up the vomit.
That was miserable.
The best day is when the first day at the first meal, when you really don't get to eat, where it's like 15 seconds. Like you get one bite of food and then get the fuck up and get the fuck out. And then you go outside and all the fat kids start crying. Sorry, the gravitationally advantaged start crying. And then they quit. And then they get to be the water boy for the rest of the
I got Echo company serving the fucking food and shit.
Dude, I was lucky because they're like, Cuevas, I sit down. And it's like, because the last person's like, last man. And it's like, fucking Zuckery. And he's like, last man. He sits down and like, done. He's like, and food's over. And you're like, he doesn't get to touch his food because we get to eat the entire fucking time while he is going. And you're like, oh, that poor dude. He's not
good old fucking Benning Yakisoba.
Yakisoba.
God, I hated Benning.
Oh, mail call. I get
We're back to PTSD.
Kansas. I don't have a TBI.
Gently handing the private's mail. Continue.
So I'm correctly handing the private's mail, and one of them, and we're doing question time, and they're like, drill sergeant, are you the drill sergeant from the videos? And I got my hat on. Obviously, I never take it off, and I just go.
I imagine full anime stare where it like just the eyes.
I just dropped my head so they couldn't see my face because like a smirk came over, and I was like,
you didn't want to give him that.
I was like, fuck. I was like, what are you talking about, private? What videos? And they're like, drill sergeant, are you on the internet making funny videos? I was like, what video, private? There's tons of videos on the internet that are funny. Drill sergeant, are you stabbing privates? I was like, yes.
You know the way every person stab us?
Oh yeah, dude. And this is like when I was coming up. Like people didn't know who I was. You know, like only a couple people knew, and I was growing the channel and shit like that, and doing my thing. And I was like, yes, Brian, that's me. And you could see like a couple people like they got smiles on their faces, like, oh, I fucking knew it. A couple people were like looking at him like, oh, this is the one you're talking about. And then the majority, like 80-90% of the platoon, were like, what the f do you mean? Right? So next year I go down on the trail and I try to do the most that I can because I'm only there for like a couple weeks, right? Yeah. So I try to be as hard charging as I can to take the active guys and let them do their own thing and relax a little bit. So I'm walking in front, you know, leading the I think it was like the 8-kilometer ruck march. This is the second ruck march that you're doing.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm leading it, you know, and I've got my PC on. I think I had a PC on. I might have my drill sergeant hat on. It depends on which company you're with. Some guys do different shit, right? And so I'm walking and I'm leading. I'm setting the pace. And one of the PGs, guidon bearers, whatever, for the platoons that I'm with is like, drill sergeant, you know, we're like halfway through. Drill sergeant, I have a question. Can I ask you a question, drill sergeant? And I'm like, yes, Brian, what's your question? And it's the same thing. It's like, drill sergeant, you a drill sergeant from the videos? And I'm in the front, you know, and it's the same thing. I just go, oh. I go, what? And same answer. I'm like, what do you mean, private? What video? What are you talking about? Drill sergeant, you anchor cops, drill sergeant.
He knows exactly.
And it's like this. It's like the second or third to last day that I'm about to like leave. Like I've trashed these kids and, you know, done my job correctly. But like I've been a bastard. And so I'm like, yes, private, I am angry cops. I am the guy, the drill sergeant that does shit on the videos. Like, how long have you known that I'm that guy? And he's like, oh, is this the first day you showed up, drill sergeant? And I'm like, okay, you knew right away. I go, how many other people know, private? The entire company, drill sergeant. And I go, the entire company knows that I'm that guy? Private? And he's like, yes, drill sergeant. And I go, how long have they known? Since you showed up, drill sergeant.
It's like the shittiest version of Undercover Boss.
Oh,
We knew you were Kylo Ren the whole time.
And so, so I asked the kid, I'm like, you're the only one that came up to me and asked me that, private? He goes, yes, drill sergeant. I go, you're the only one that came up to me. He goes, yes, drill sergeant. I go, why is nobody else asking me that question? Like, cause I'm trying to like needle him. I'm trying to like, why is this? No, I'm not fucking with him. I'm trying to get as much information that I can out of him without saying
he's afraid.
Tell me why, right? Like he's opening up to me. I can take this as an advantage and figure out what's going on. Like feel the company's emotions, fingers on the pulse, right? I go, private. I go, why are you the first one to come up to me and ask me that? Everybody else is afraid of you, drill sergeant. Exactly. And I was like, as they should be, private, as they should be. And yeah, that was it. So I was like, that's one of those moments where I was like, I got a little bit of honesty where I could be like, how am I doing my job? Like, am I doing it okay? I'm like, oh, they're all afraid of you, drill sergeant. I was like, fuck yeah, they are. yeah.
As a private, you forget how afraid. I remember drill sergeant Butters was the guy we were like, oh, man. Butters, yeah. Dude, we were terrified of that dude. Butters? Yeah, drill sergeant Butters. And we were like, man, this dude must have been like special forces or something. But I remember on the last day or one of the last field exercises, he was all done up in his camo and he's like, hey, fucking private, you're actually a pretty squared away platoon. Like, good job. And I remember Mackenzie, he was like, drill sergeant. Like, yeah, private. He's like, you love us? And he actually got a laugh out of Butters. He never laughed. This dude's like, do push it. Like, it broke it for the first time. And I was like,
I got a drill sergeant to crack one time, a couple of times, but my favorite time is drill sergeant Hennessy, who super motivated me still to this day. Drill sergeant Hennessy, love you. I was in basic training and he was gone. He was doing like an NCO development school, but he was gone from our basic training class for like 3-4 weeks. And he came back, and because he was so good at like teaching us, he was the teacher. Really good at teaching. Smoked the shit out of you a little bit, right? You know, you respected him, but he was an amazing teacher. And when he came back, nobody taught like him. And how do you show your appreciation for somebody when you're a kid? Drill sergeant, we're really glad you're back, drill sergeant. Shut the fuck up, Brad. And so he was pissed because now all of his buddies, you know, like grill him, you know, because now I'm a drill sergeant, I know exactly what they said. They're like, oh, you fucking hugging privates, you private hugger, you fucking pussy, you gonna fuck one of them next, you know, just like ribbing him.
Oh yeah, it's the opposite side.
Yeah, so he's over the intercom and he goes, bing. Sunday, everybody's at like religious services. I got back from mine and bing. Privates, if one of you comes up to me and tells me that I'm your favorite drill sergeant or that you're glad that I'm back, I'm going to smoke the shit out of you. You know, it like leaves it off, or I don't even know if there was a second bing because I don't know how I remember things. And I swear to God, I said it just like this. I'm alone in my bay with like 4 other cats. Everybody's gone doing shit. And I'm like, Drill Sergeant Hennessy, you're my favorite drill sergeant. And no shit, he goes, hi, drop. and your eyes are like, oh. I literally, that was my face. I went,
He's God. God is here.
I was like, oh, I got in the push-up position, and I'm like, you know, quietly whispering in front of him, like, I know the intercom was both ways. I know the intercom was both ways. And he comes walking up, and he goes, boom, kicks open the door, and they're like, hey, don't you move high. And I'm like, oh. You know, it's like, oh my God, is this the consequence of my actions? Oh God. I've never had this much, like, I never have that much responsibility on my shoulders. Like, I was in the push-up position, but it felt like the world was on my back.
You were Atlas.
Like, I've never been called on the spot like this before. I'm like, oh shit. Then he walks up, all chill and slow. We're in BDUs. He's got his boots are fucking jungle boots with the green on them.
Oh yeah.
And the soles. Yeah, and the toes are shined, and he's got a mug, and it says, join the army, meet interesting people, and kill them. And
this is early 2000s to a T.
Yeah. And so, like, he's, you know, like, all my drill sergeants. Yeah.
This is early 2000s to a T.
So, and I'm just like, because, like, you don't f over the nice guy, because the nice guy can be a bastard and real quick. And I'm sitting there like, oh God, I'm taking all this in. My brain is in like panic mode. It's like, soak up all the information. What can you say? Get out of this. You can't say anything. Get out of this. Don't try to get out of this. Just trying to make it worse. Trying to make it less worse. And so he's like, you can stay there. So I'm your favorite drill sergeant, huh? I'm like, yes, drill sergeant. It's like, okay, all right. And I'm like, there's a lull in the conversation. I'm not doing push-ups yet. This isn't as bad as I think it is. And I smell the coffee. And you can't have coffee. You can't have energy drinks. You know, can't have soda in basic training, in good ones where they, where they treat you, give you discipline. And I go, is that hazelnut coffee, drill sergeant? And he stops and he goes, why? Do you like hazelnut coffee, private? And he like lowers himself down, and I'm in the push-up position, and that's when I see the cup, because the cup's like right in front of my face, underneath my nose. It says that join the army, meet interesting people, and kill them. And I'm like, one, that's a badass baller move to like just like put this good smelling shit in front of my face. Two, that's a baller ass cup that you just don't buy to show off to me. You have that because you're an artilleryman that was throwing fucking rounds down range, and you met some interesting people and like decimated them from a couple kilometers away. Killed them. And it's just like blows it, you know, in my face. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I don't drink coffee. It wasn't my jam. I was 17, and I might have been 18 at the time, but I was 17. And I'm like, I just noticed the smell because my dad used to have it. Did you drink coffee? I'm like, integrity check. No, drills aren't, but it smells really good. And my father used to drink it and blah, blah. And then he had a conversation with me about, you know, shut the fuck up. And that was it.
Just shut the fuck up.
But yeah, the second that went bing, power up, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to smoke this shit out. Yeah, my favorite. High drop.
Is there?
The fear in that fucking intercom transfer. How long has this been going on?
Dude, it's like being caught in an ambush. Like I didn't know where it was coming from. I didn't know how he saw me, but he saw and heard and knew everything. And I was not in control at all. Fear.
Moral of the story, fear.
Are there any pranks that you consistently pull as a drill sergeant during the gas chamber event?
Or anything.
I had one happening during my gas chamber experience, and I want to know if it's a normal thing.
Thank you for watching the Unsubscribed podcast. If you guys want to hear the rest of these stories, you can listen to them after on the Patreon. Head over to the after party. Will be linked somewhere below. As always, Eli, myself, Baddie, and our two very special, amazing So beautiful, so strong, so powerful guests. The,
Where do we
Fat
find you?
Electrician and Angry Cops.
He must forgot his name. I showed.
Thefatelectrician.com. Very forgettable.
Mr. Angry?
Yeah, just Google Angry Cops, and you'll either find a really cool cop video of me, arresting some asshole, or
Sending
some
somebody
interesting, funny
space.
videos. What's that?
Sending
Yeah, or
somebody space.
chest bumping a young man into space.
Jesus Christ.